When was the last time you took a very careful look of your energy bill? I bet you were pretty shocked to see what was on it. Because you see, data centers right now are causing energy costs to skyrocket, specifically electricity costs. Roll the clips.
AI is making us pay for its existence. Let me tell you why. People are reporting all across the Midwest that their energy bills are going quadruple what they usually are. They're already getting doubled, and they're being told in their bill by multiple sources that they're going triple next month. This is unaffordable for the average American, for us. I'm doing this post for everybody. We cannot afford this, okay? AI is making us pay for its existence. Okay, people are paying $200 a month for their bill. Imagine next month you're getting a $400 or $500 bill, and the month after that you're getting an $800-$900 bill. We can't afford that. The Sup America account, the guy, he's a comedian, but he's also telling the truth. In his state, in Indiana, right in the heart of America, his bill tripled in 2 months. In 2 months, it went from 200 to 550, which is more than double. And then they told him it's going to go up another 16%. If this is happening in your neck of the woods, why? He called his power company and they said, "Oh, it's just for the deliverability." That's the reason of the cost increase. It makes zero sense. There's no infrastructure change, but a data center was placed in his backyard. A data center. So that's the reason. Okay? Plain and simple. And in most small towns across America, we're being told we're gonna have a data center and we have the power to support it. And it's not gonna cost you anymore. Yet people are getting triple bills. We're not gonna afford it. We're not gonna take that shit. Okay, so what's gonna happen? We're gonna hit a breaking point. So what do you recommend? Solar or something else? Put your comment in the comments section. Lockdown Universe out.
AI is changing the world. Changing whose world? Because in about 4 years, our electric bill is going to go up by 70% because of AI. Most electric companies can't provide the amount of electricity that these AI data centers need. Yeah, and in order to give that, they're going to have to charge everybody else more. So, God, these massive computers need a lot of water to cool down. Yeah, kind of like a laptop that overheats, except it's a huge plant, so it needs a lot of water to cool down. In one place in Oregon, it used 25% of all the water that everyone used in that city alone. 25% of all of the water used went to that one AI plant. And now they're targeting reservoirs and nature all around the United States to suck the water dry so that they can cool off their AI generators. No way. Yeah, just one question to ChatGPT doesn't go to the internet. It goes to an actual place. And that place has a lot of things that are thinking and that uses a lot of energy and creates a lot of heat. So just one question to ChatGPT actually results in one entire bottle of water being used to cool down the system. AI is making jobs for people. It's supposed to make us have a utopia so that eventually we don't actually have to work as hard and we have more time to our family. Yeah, that's what they told us, but instead they're replacing us with AI in our jobs, and then we can't find work because everybody's replacing everybody with AI and robots and stuff like that. So eventually we can't find work and they don't need us anymore. And what do you do to things that you don't need anymore? I usually throw things away that I don't need anymore. So yeah, AI is definitely going to change the world.
Have you noticed that your energy bills have been climbing as of recently? So it's not just you, and it's actually going to get worse. So not only have energy companies like ComEd and NICOR been approved these like massive rate increases that are being rolled out like in increments, right? I think the first one started in June of 2025. Another one was in October. Well, all of these data centers that are for like AI, ChatGPT, those massive data centers are also going to be jacking up your rates. These data centers use about as much electricity, no joke, as like a small country. And so the energy grids are already struggling to keep up. And utility companies are going to be raising the rates for that also to be handling the load. So if your rates aren't locked in, you are personally gambling with the market. So my husband and I have already locked in. And when I was seeing social media posts on like Facebook and stuff with people bitching about their rates, when he was opening the mail, I did not hear swearing. And trust me, every time that there's like an increase in a bill, I hear swearing from him. So if you have questions on how to do that, I can help you.
$1 trillion tech companies are getting private energy companies to raise the rates on our energy bills so they can fund the building of their data centers that will generate enormous amount of profits for the tech and the energy company, and we'll never see a return on it. And our state legislators are helping them do it. They have enough money. Why should we be funding them? Yet you have Republican-led states like mine in North Carolina who have written and passed laws that allow energy companies to increase our rates by over 200% over the last 5 years. According to The Guardian, senators like Elizabeth Warren and Richard Blumenthal are investigating how these big tech companies are passing soaring costs onto us for their energy-guzzling data centers for AI. They're also looking into tax deductions and payments made to lobbyists and consultants to get lawmakers to approve the building of these data centers. One data center here in North Carolina was stopped from being built because of enormous public pressure and pushback. It is important that we know what is going on where we live so we can stop them from picking our pockets so they can make more money.
So by now, everybody should know that since Trump took office, we are all paying 3 to 5% more in energy costs, and that it's specifically because of AI data centers. They are energy sucking monsters, okay? But you and I are footing the bill for their energy demand. Right now, AI data centers consume 4 to 5% of our United States power. Okay. There are 1,938 active AI data centers currently. There's 608 currently being built, but there's another 2,669 data centers announced to be constructed, which means the amount of energy use is about to triple in the next few years. And there's nothing in place, nothing being done to make sure we're not footing the bill going forward as their energy demands increase. And a lot of part of the costs that you and I are absorbing is that the grids, the energy grids, the infrastructure that the utility companies have to build on behalf of their AI customer is astronomical and so costly. And we're footing the bill for that. Well, why are we getting shafted? Well, of course, it comes down to money, right? These AI data corporations donated $6.1 million to Republicans in 2024. But it doesn't include all the dark money that they donated. And there's tens of millions more. And it doesn't include what the tech bros themselves donated. Think Elon Musk in the hundreds of millions. But they got their Republicans elected. And so now we're all having to foot the bill for this. So what are we getting for paying more for these energy costs? Well, AI is supposed to make life a whole lot easier for us, right? Better search engines, customer service, fraud detection. These are real benefits, but they are not proportional to what we're paying. The AI corporations are getting all of the benefits at our cost. What we're not getting lower energy bills. We're not getting corporate cost sharing. They're hardly sharing any of the costs. And we're definitely not getting transparency because they're not required to be transparent about their energy usage. Who's being hit the hardest? This is the big one. It's rural areas that are almost majorly Trump supporting areas. That's just a fact. This is where the land is cheap. This is where the data centers are being built. This is where the big grids have to be constructed and installed. And it's within that local area that they're going to bear the burden of the costs. They're going to be squeezed. Are you hearing me, Trump supporters? And here's the scoop. Going forward, there's not one damn thing any state can do to regulate any of this or have them pay their fair share because Donald Trump signed an executive order preventing states from being able to do that. So this is what you get when you vote for Republicans. There you go.
electricity prices are going up. And in case anybody tries to blame it on the EVs next door, that is not the case. Data center energy usage by the end of 2025 is around 10 times the energy usage of every single electric car in this country. And more importantly, the load is not flexible. Whereas EV load is flexible, you can change what time you charge. There are time of use hours for charging, but data centers are kind of on. We did 2 different surveys asking people what their perceptions were of energy usage for EVs versus data centers. And people knew that data centers were more energy intensive.
The person on the street that's not in the industry already, I think the number was around 30% of people either thought EVs use more energy than data centers or it's about the same. And the reality is, like you said, it's data centers use 10 times more than EVs.
50% of the data centers globally are located in the United States. Out of those, 50% of them are in the eastern seaboard. The sort of energy price hits will not be distributed necessarily equally across the whole country.
That's kind of prior to the biggest, most energy intensive data centers that are really the AI centric ones. They're not even online yet, right? And they're under construction now. So it does feel like 15, maybe even 20% of the electricity that we use as a country could be going into data centers within the next 3 to 5 years. That's insane. A load factor that didn't exist, 10 years ago.
I think 12 to 15% are current estimates for the growth through the end of the decade, or maybe even through 2028. But that's it's intense, yeah.
Do we remember when politicians were saying we can't push electric vehicles like this because the energy grids can't support it? Because I do. It was just last year. In fact, Donald Trump was one of those politicians. But now those same Republican politicians are saying, let's push more data centers. Well, data centers across the country are causing Americans' energy bills to skyrocket. Not just going up 20, 30% in a month. I'm talking about going up 100, 200, 300% over the same month last year with similar temperatures. So these data centers are using a ridiculous amount of power. In one Pennsylvania data center uses more electricity than the whole city of Pittsburgh. One North Carolina mega data center uses more electricity than the whole city of Charlotte. And they're paying minuscule amounts for that electricity. Once again, American taxpayers are subsidizing multi-billion-dollar businesses and their profits, and it's costing Americans money. We're going to see another totally different wealth transfer than the big beautiful bill authorized through energy consumption alone. Americans are going to start having brownouts and blackouts while data centers continue to chug on, and Americans are going to continue to see their electric bills increase unless state public utility commissions and the White House, Congress, and the Senate get together and put a cap on this. But until then, we actually don't produce enough energy here to support the data centers being built. We did produce enough energy here to support all of us having electric vehicles, though.
My feeling about this after hearing all these people share their thoughts and experiences on what's happening right now, I have to wonder exactly who do they think is going to flip this bill? Who do you think government, who do you think Elon Musk will pay for this? Certainly, the American population won't continue to pay for something like this for very long without a major revolt. Because right now, yes, we are consumers of AI technology, we are consumers of robotics, but for the most part, it doesn't benefit us to a great degree as it would benefit your stakeholders and benefit your millionaire and billionaire class. It benefits them a lot more than it benefits us, okay? So you have to realize that. And I think they do realize that, guys. I really think that they know this. It really benefits them more, but they'll continue to build this stuff, and it will continue to impact the shrinking and disappearing middle class. I actually did a video on the disappearing middle class. Check it out. But listen, I'm going to put on my tech guy hat for 1 second, and let me speak as a software developer and a tech guy. Listen, I understand that AI may be something that's very interesting for humanity to partake in and for humanity to participate in general in. And I do think that we're going to see a lot of advancements within the healthcare industry, within technology itself, within legal, within many different verticals and horizontals. We're going to see the benefits of AI sooner rather than later. But I really also believe we're digging ourselves a deeper hole than we should be by kind of pushing this initiative without really understanding the risk and implications and parameters as to what we're doing regarding this major undertaking that we're trying to embark on. And so, in general, I think that with the energy costs rising and the electricity rising, there needs to be some sort of tax credits or some sort of program implemented in which the average American can get back their cost of paying for these electricity bills. It's just very unfair in general because you already have Americans being hammered by the current job market. You already have a lot of people suffering because of the cost of rising inflation at the gas pump in supermarkets, at childcare centers, you name it. Everything that can go up that has a number in it has been going up for the past 3 to 5 years now. And it's not stopping, guys. It's continuing to happen in 2026. If anyone woke up on January 1st, 2026, thinking for just 1 second that these things will stop and that things will go back to quote unquote, rather normal, it's not going to happen. It's going to continue, and you'll see that over time it'll get worse. Our middle class is disappearing because of things like these rising energy costs. Now, this problem is just not native to the United States. Again, as I mentioned multiple times before, it's happening worldwide. In fact, going back to my reference to the country of Germany, Germany has one of the oldest electric grids in all of the European Union, and they're paying, I think it's the third or fourth highest cost for electricity in the world right now. So that goes to show you that this is not just an American problem. This is a global problem. Now, Germany is not building out AI centers at the rapid rate of the United States or China. However, because of what's happening globally and because of the fact that Germany no longer relies on Russian oil or petroleum, and they're relying on American petroleum, which is costing them 3 times the amount of what they would normally pay to Russians, the energy costs are directly impacted by that. Not to mention what happened out here is because, if you guys are not familiar, in the European Union, they have always been major champions of trying to use clean and renewable energies. They actually closed down a lot of nuclear plants all across the country, hoping to build clean energy plants instead or in lieu of the old nuclear plants. And that was a total failure. It was an utter disgrace because they didn't really do much for the economy and nor did it do much for the environment. So now we're back at square one. And that's the reason why this country of Germany in particular is suffering. But going back to America and Americans' problems, I don't see it ever stopping until there's a major mandate put in place to protect the American consumer and to protect their bottom lines, right? And again, as a tech guy, I love technology. I love AI. I love what they're doing with it. But do I love it so much to sacrifice my own wallet? I'm not really sure, guys. I'm not really sure that's something I personally would like to do. So I'm hoping that they will find solutions for these issues soon. That could just be wishful thinking. I don't know what to expect, but all I know is that, guys, you have to try to cut your costs as much as possible. Try to use solar panels if you can, if that's a doable thing for you. Using other forms of power. One other thing I'll mention is electric vehicles. They try to say, well, electric vehicles could be a reason why this is happening as well, but electric vehicles don't even consume a fifth of the power that they're using to power these plants, these AI energy plants. So again, I really don't know what to think here, but Just try to find alternative routes to consume energy if possible, and try to make the most of it, and try to cut your costs as much as possible. Maybe don't use high wattage items very long. Try to cut down those costs as well. I mean, this is common sense. It's just I'm trying to give you guys some hope here, because it's a lot. Every single news I bring to you guys, and every single news cycle we have on television, it's just nothing but negative, negative, negative. And unfortunately, that's the reality that we live in, and therefore we must check it. Guys, go ahead and like this video if you found it to be very valuable and useful for you. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, because I'm dropping new videos almost every day, if not every day, every other day. And YouTube believes that you'll like this video right here. So give that a shot, and I'll see you on the next one.